hide everything or be silent. And now I understand you being, having to hide in a box or feeling safer.
Yeah. I literally did hide in
Um,
boxes.
I understand that now.
I didn't even know I told you that.
Yeah. I mean, I have so much compassion for you. It's unreal. You have no idea how much compassion I have for you.
And my mom was her first husband. She was.
And I have compassion for her, and I don't even know her.
Yeah, I love my mom, but I know she's very bitter and very.
Well, she was raised without emotion.
Yeah, and she's. Yeah, and she takes it personally, like, because I stopped talking to her too. I'm like, you're dead to me.
Shouldn't. Well.
With her and when it happened.
Why did you say that? That's a lot to say.
It was the
day
after my son died. Yeah, and I'm like, and then all the memories of my dad came back. I'm like, I blamed him for my son dying, because he raised me, to protect, abusers and to accept the unacceptable, and that's why the way he raised me, it set me up to marry that guy.
Right.
So I didn't have any parental guidance that way. He was just out of prison for murder. He was a convicted murderer. He served 15 years in prison.
And they accepted him?
My mom didn't never like them. No, she never liked them. She probably knew of the abuse, but she never told me it was abuse. But she wanted me to divorce him. She goes, he's going to kill you, because he was very violent. He was very violent.
Okay.
That's why my son died at 23, an alcoholic.
Right. Because of the happened to him throughout his childhood.
Mm-hmm. And it was never, and I was so naive, or maybe I never saw any of it, but he was a very violent person.
Because was your life like that when you were a kid?
Not with the violence. My mom was an alcoholic, so I grew up with a big-time alcoholic. So they're not present. They're not. There's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in the home.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom wasn't.
And
my dad, he never talked to me.
And your mom also learned silence about what happened to her.
Oh, yeah.
So to turn a blind eye for her is kind of like how she was raised.
Oh yeah. My mom.
They used to pierce their tongues and do all kinds of weird stuff.
Oh, it was horrible. And she writes with both left and right hands, but that was one of the things that the kids couldn't write, with the right hand. Then they would beat them, and they would go through a lot of stuff just to beat them. So my mom can write both. So I'm like, oh, that's cool, but it's. But I found out but it was none of it. They don't talk about the past. None of them do. None of them. I found all this out was through when I was trying to get my grandsons, because the Indian Child Welfare Act would have helped them. They wouldn't have let them leave my house, but they weren't registered. Their dad was, but they weren't. So they just gave us like $7,000 to hire an attorney, because they didn't want to add them to the tribe because of the casino money. They didn't want to. It's stupid, because the tribes are dying out now. Younger generations, they don't learn the language. I don't know the language.
Any of it?
No, not really.
Not any words or anything?
Just a couple of words, just
like
bad words. Like delicious chant, that means like skunk shit. My words aren't like worth knowing.
Maybe.
Yeah, skunk shit.
You never know when you can say someone's skunk shit.
Yeah, delicious chant. Yeah, but my mom, she's very broken English. So my mom can't do anything for herself. I grew up, I had to do everything for her, write her checks. But she could speak it, but she just, I don't know.
Is your dad Indian? No, he's not.
So he's white as can be.
And he took advantage of her.
He's pale white.
Did he work?
Oh yeah, he owned businesses and stuff.
Okay.
And he was my best friend. But
you thought?
Yeah, now it's like, this is so cruel. When my daughter left, then the cruelness hit me. Because it's just cruel. They know, and my mom.
How could your husband take her so fast?
Oh my God, it was such a mess. I didn't abuse stuff.
I didn't know that was happening at that time.
My ex-husband?
Is that who took her?
He took my daughter, yeah. Because I got him kicked out in 2021.
How did you finally get the balls to do that?
Oh, because he was attacking me here, and this had like a big island right here and a glass tabletop, and it was thick too, and it came off and it shattered real loud, and he had me on, like my neck on the stove, and my boys came out, my boys saw it, and he's all, go to your room, and they're like, no, Dad, and this is in 2019, and then so he went to charge them, and that was it. I just needed, not that I needed it, but once he turned on my boys, that was it. Then he went crazy. He went crazy. He was scary as fuck.
Did you get a restraining order?
I got a restraining order, but then he stayed for 3 months within whatever amount of foot away. So he lived outside on the road, just stalking the house.
Did you go to the courts about that?
No.
You should have.
Then he finally came in the house. He'd break in here and rape me. I'd be sleeping and he'd be in the closet just staring at me when I'm sleeping. He was just ugly. He was very ugly. Or if I go, whenever I see my daughter, because I was arrested. He broke the restraining order and he wouldn't give my daughter back. He said he's going to take her to Texas, and so I called the police and they arrested me on child cruelty because he told them that I didn't feed my daughter or give her medicine. And she was 10, and she went along with his story. And that whole night, the police officer, he berated me just over, like, you're a horrible mom, and he's a convicted murderer, but you don't deserve it. So just hours of that, I believed him. Then I just felt like it was terrible. But the DA never picked up that case. But that getting arrested to put a child support or child CPS case against me, because it was child cruelty, even though it wasn't picked up by the DA. So and that's why I couldn't get my boys when my son died, because I had that on my CPS case. Because they don't look.
It was inconclusive.
Yeah, but they don't look into that. And then I was so, I was so weakened where I didn't have a voice on any of that. So he got temporary custody there from when I got arrested, and that's how he got custody over her. And then he got, like, I don't know what legal custody through the courts was when my grandson died. While I was in the hospital one day, he got an emergency court hearing. And then when she was with me, she would, because I never get to see her, but she records for him, because that's how he raised. He's a tyrant. And so then I was in a weed shop, and she took pictures of it, and that was in the court documents. And so that's what gave him the legal custody. So he's got physical, and I, well, at least I don't have to pay him spousal support. But I should have got all of that, the alimony and everything. He got her child support, and I hardly ever see her. But that was when it was, I didn't, anytime I had a voice though, he would just come back harder on me. He would be so much more, so it wasn't worth fighting him.
Because he was so devious.
And then my attorney, when my parents first sold my house, because after I called, after my son died, I called my dad and, you're dead to me and all that. And I stopped talking to him. And so a month later, the house was already sold. So it's sold in 2021.
So you have to look up that Indian thing.
But then that one, we were able to get it to stop because I got a lien on the house, a lis pendant, so it stopped the sale, and then they canceled that sale. And then he wrote me a letter like, aha, you got me, you got it, But then, I don't know, maybe my mom's getting sicker, and that's where he wanted to be in a rush selling it, because they sold it for under the price. Because they bought it sight unseen, they never even came inside.
That's what Lorraine was saying. They had to have seen it, but they never even stepped foot.
Yeah, no. So they just bought it as is.
Corporation to me.
Yeah, they just get the people out, and that's why too. That's a lot of it. Like it has a lot of people component versus like if I got a jury trial, that'd be so much better. Because they're it's a corporation. They're just using it just to flip the house.
Notice of default. So you've been served a foreclosure.
The house is paid off. I paid it off years ago.
But unpaid taxes probably.
Oh yeah, I had 5 years of that. I fucked up. Once COVID happened, stopped paying it.
22. So it's been probably about 4 years.
And that's where everything that was during all the divorce and all of that, because the divorce took years, and he had an attorney and I didn't. My attorney took off with all the money. So all the money we had saved to keep the house, and I had already put in $5,000 for my divorce.
Were you getting an Indian welfare check?
No, we don't really get those.
Why? You're 50%.
Our tribe says that they don't generate enough money, but they have 2 casinos. But it's all the tribal government, how they operate things.
My girlfriend's dad is on the board of the gambling tribal.
Oh, okay.
Thing. Yeah, he's on
And
the board of directors.
that covers the whole area.
And I know they cover Pachanga area.
Yeah, mine's it's Arizona. But that's why I talked to the board, the the chairman, and he said that there's just too many people to give money to.
There isn't though. Look how many people were.
I think there's 10,000 at that time that was registered with the census.
Well, many of those have passed away.
And
And the census are being cleaned up everywhere anyway, with Elon Musk. My doctor got on me for voting for Trump yesterday.
What?
He goes, "It's you. If you voted for Trump, you cut off your own finger." He goes, because right now they're making it very difficult for anyone on Medi-Cal or on Molina or Medi-Cal to get, help to get it paid for.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because he hasn't received one payment from Molina for all the meds that I've been getting, all the Norcos and everything I get. He hasn't received one payment because they're saying to him, "Well, why is she on hospice?" They're saying, "Do you have documents?" And he goes, "Yes, I have documents." But he was telling them that I had something, because we didn't do all the medical exams. He's going by the medical records he picked up and what could be. And he's never met me. But he did ask me, advice about his horse yesterday. But,
So they're coming down on all the hospice agencies, you think?
yeah, I know that's something that he should know about. Yeah, they're trying to weed out
Yeah, 'cause there's a lot that goes out that's wasted.
Yeah, they're trying.
Did you tell Arthur that?
Yeah. No, Arthur.
Arthur!
I'll tell him. I'll tell him when he's got a minute. Yeah, they are trying to weed out all of the fraud.
That makes sense.
And do you know that there's like 500,000 people age 130 and over that receive Social Security?
That's sick.
And have been receiving it since they were,
That's why in court
or...
it's so stupid, because you can lie in court, and if you believe you're lying, you're a good liar.
It's a lot.
And they don't.
When you were,
I was so honest in court
if you were raised with morals, and you have virtues, you won't.
Oh but my husband was left and right. He's
He didn't care.
Then I'm medically.
And I think that people that lie in court should definitely have to pay for that.
Yeah, because you grow it. That's Well, what do you call it when you don't? I didn't make a mediation, and they were gonna have me. I was in contempt of court. I didn't really know how serious that was, but it's pretty serious.
I found a pin or a piece of a necklace or a charm, and it says, "Thou shalt not bear false witness," when I was a kid. And I've always lived that.
So my mom's very honest, very honest.
Yeah.
Where she was, if I went to go visit my dad, she'd cut off because she got food stamps for me, and she'd cut it off. I'm like, I'm only there for a month, and she could still keep it. My mom was like that.
And I didn't want to break any laws because it was beaten to her.
Yeah.
It was
And
burned
when she moved to
into her.
Arizona, she still had a Mervyn's credit card bill. I'm like, they closed down, Mom. You probably don't need to pay that bill no more. But she still had to pay her Mervyn's bill. So she's honest that way.
Honestly stupid.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's not gonna.
Okay, so the first thing you have to do is we need to start looking for a tribal attorney, and the tribal attorney, the name of that tribal attorney.
Remember that guy was giving us stupid thing. It doesn't usually. I hate that when it.
You
does
need
that.
one that specializes in elder law,
and if he's gonna have to know all this stuff and property law,
and Native American tribal.
I'd be free.
And you want to hold this in the Native American tribal courts. You don't want to go to San Bernardino. So you've got to talk to an attorney, and I mean call until you find one that you can talk to that's tribal.